What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Latrice Monet. This is my one-woman show, if you didn't already know. I'm really excited about that. I'm taking that from my last video. Anyway, so I wanted to jump in, and first, of course, I wanted to apologize for missing last week. That's on me. Charge my head, not my heart. I am working to do better. It was quite an eventful week, so I didn't really have the chance to. You know what? I'm gonna just say I didn't make the time that I needed to make. So I'm gonna remain accountable for that. But I am here, and I actually came to talk to you about a conversation that I had with a friend, which I thought was really interesting. So we were talking about, I don't know how we got on the subject of it, but we were talking about like growing up in the 90s when before we had smartphones like that, and you had to, have somebody give you instructions on how to get from point A to point B. So if you was going somewhere new that you've never been before, you had to, ask your mom or whoever who already knew how to get there for directions. And if you got turned around or you missed a turn, you would stop by at the gas station. And I know this might sound really weird for like some millennials or Gen Zers because you have GPS, but we actually had to stop on the side of the road or like at the gas station and ask people for directions, hoping that somebody knew where to go. And if you didn't, you just had to go to another gas station or at the grocery store. So yeah, like customer service centers were really good for that. But anyway, so you had to ask for directions. And sometimes it could be really detailed, like, oh, if you go past the stop sign, you've gone too far. If you get to a stop sign, you have to go through that stop sign, that type of thing. So fast forward, we were talking about something else and we were driving, and it dawned on me that the way that life is and how life works, and especially like the other video that I mentioned, where you're paying attention to the clues and the signs that you get to things. Life is very much so like driving back in the 90s and the early 2000s, like especially in terms of figuring out life paths and stuff like that. Like getting directions from people can be very helpful, and it's about asking. So getting insight from other people about life or business, whether that's a therapist, a life coach, a friend, a family member, it could be very fruitful to you to have that insight from them along your journey, along your drive, right? And then the other part of it too, how I talked about the stop sign. So sometimes you come across a stop sign and you have to go through it. You have to go past it. It's very similar to somebody telling you like, nah, you can't do that. Or no, you're too late. You didn't get here on time, or whatever the case may be, but you have to continue to pursue what it is that you're after, what God has placed in your vision to accomplish, because that stop sign, that person is not the end all be all. Now there will be some stop signs that come up that are to let you know that you don't need to go no further. That's not where you need to be headed. But I think that comes down to discernment, and also having like a strong sense of self and where it is that you want to go. And that comes to having a strong knowledge, or let's say a strong conversation, a good conversation with somebody beforehand to say like, hey, you don't need to be going down that road because that's not where you want to go, kind of thing. And it's so funny because I lived in the DMV area for about 5 years, and like there's roundabouts there. So if you've been there or you've driven there or you live there, you know that the roundabouts are like a thing, and they can be very like, cumbersome or a headache inducing or whatever if you haven't dealt with it. And I grew up in a small town and we didn't have roundabouts, and so that was a whole transition for me. But anyway, and sometimes in life, just like with the directions, you get to that roundabout and some people get stuck. you know, they might go around in that roundabout, you know, 2, 3, 4 times or whatever, trying to get over to the right lane to right, you know, make the correct exit. And it's very similar. Sometimes we get stuck in cycles of behavior or even thought patterns about what it is that we're doing, or maybe we're just beating ourselves up or thinking about, I don't know, thinking about what we should be doing and comparing ourselves. And, you know, it's like, I think it's time, and it's something that I've been working on, is stepping out of those roundabouts or those cycles so that I can truly transition into the space that I'm meant to be in. So I thought that was really cool analogy, and how we just kind of was talking and came up with that on the spot. So yeah, and I wanted to share it with y'all, especially since I did not share it last week. So that's that. I didn't really have too much else in this video. I'm actually planning to make another video this week where I talk about some of the things that are happening in the fashion world, like business related. And so I'm actually really excited about that. I think that'll be some interesting content to bring to you all, because as an entrepreneur in retail, I think it's important to stay up on the news. And I mean, I think that I say that with like what's the word, it's escaping me, but I say that, like, stay up on the news, like be intentional about the type of news that you're consuming, because, you know, of course there's a lot of different things that is happening, and it's really heavy. So if you're in charge of what it is that you're taking in, I think there's a lot that's a lot better way in terms of digesting it, at least for me. And so yes, I think it's important to follow up on the news of your industry, so that you can stay up to date on it, and you can also be able to speak to it, like with other colleagues or just people that you might meet in passing, because you just never know. And it could also help you make better decisions in the long run. So yes, I will be coming back with that later this week, maybe hopefully by the weekend. And it's going to be a good one. So stay tuned, and I will talk to you all later. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and that the message that I gave today is helpful in some way. Ha! That rhymed. Okay, bye.